this is Shrikante, and today we're diving into a topic that affects every part of our day, even when we don't realize it, which are habits. Now, habits are those automatic behaviors that we perform without needing to think about them, like brushing our teeth, checking our phones, or even the way that we respond to stress. Now, this presentation, understanding habits, the automatic nature, explores how habits are formed, why they are so powerful, and how can we consciously reshape them into to improve our lives. Now, habits guide a large portion of our decisions and behaviors, and often without us realizing it. Now, these actions don't require conscious thought. They're stored in the brain as automatic patterns, and that's what makes them efficient and so hard to break. Now, think about your morning routine. You probably follow the same sequence every day: wake up, stretch, check your phone, brush your teeth, and so on. Now, these routines save mental energy, but they also mean we can fall into unhealthy patterns if we are not careful. Today, we will look at how habits develop and how can we regain control over them. Now, habits fall into three broad categories. One which are firstly, it's the everyday automatic habits, which are things that we do without thinking, like tying our shoelaces or brushing our teeth or even locking the door. Now these become the second nature and help us operate efficiently throughout the day. Second, which are good for you habits. Now, they are intentional behaviors that support our health and well-being. Think of things like exercising regularly, or staying hydrated, or getting enough sleep. Now, these habits do take effort to build, um, but once they become automatic, they have long-term benefits. Oh, and I also forgot to mention one more example, which is eating nutritious food, like shown in this picture. Now, last but not the least, these are called bad for your habits. Now, these are just as automatic as you think, but these are like the harmful habits. Now, these might include procrastination, which is included in this video as the image shown, and emotional eating or excessive screen time. Now, what's key to remember is that bad habits are learned just like the good ones, and that means they can be also be unlearned too. Now, a pivotal study from the Duke University found that 40% of our daily actions are driven by habit. Now, that's almost half of everything we do, from the way that we get dressed to how we react into conversations. Now, this finding is important because it shows how much of our behavior is not actually based on conscious decision making. Habits run on autopilot, influenced by environment, routines, and mental shortcuts. Now, the good news is that once we recognize that a large portion of our day is habitual, we can begin to intentionally change those patterns. Now, habits are stored in the brain through neural pathways. Connections formed through repetition, which is every time we repeat in a behavior, the brain reinforces it by making a path more efficient. Now, there are two key strategies for breaking old habits. Option 1: acknowledge your triggers. Now, every habit has a cue or a trigger. Now, identifying what prompts your behavior, like boredom, stress, or even a certain time of a day, can help you interrupt the pattern. Or option 2: create new pathways. Instead of simply stopping an old habit, you can replace it with a new one. Now, this new behavior must be repeated consistently to build a fresh neural connection strong enough to override the old one. Now, this is the science behind the habit change, and it explains why change takes time and repetition. Now, this final slide is a reminder of something really empowering. You are not stuck with your current habits. With awareness, intention, and consistency, You can reshape your routine, your mindset, and even your long-term well-being. Now, it's not about being the perfect; it's about being consistent. And whether you want to eat better or focus more, or even stop procrastinating, the process begins with a one decision repeated over time. So, as we wrap up with this video, I know it's a short one, but please remember this: habits shape your future, and you have the power to shape your habits. And yeah, thank you so much, and have a nice day. Bye.